Okay, hey everyone, welcome to a very special, spooky edition of UCR Live. We have some special guests with us today. The lovely ladies from Frightfully Good Paranormal. Say hey, guys.
Hey guys.
Hello, how are you all? Should we say good day?
G'day, yeah. It's
G'day.
going to be a very Australian day today, isn't it?
Well, we've sort of taken over the show, haven't we, Jeff? Because it was always an American-based show, and
true.
now he's like,
we're more popular in Australia than we are in America, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
When I'm in too much trouble, I know what country to go to.
It's always safe here, except for the animals.
yeah,
The animals
well,
will
that's
kill
true.
you.
Yes,
All the
Australian
security
animals
guards in
scare me.
Victoria.
It seems like there's a lot of shark attacks in Australia.
Well, stupid people will go out swimming in the water. That's none of their business to be out there. We would
I
have
agree.
had fins if we were supposed to be out in the water.
I agree.
The shark's neighborhood.
So, ladies, are you able to tell us a little bit about what you do? Because I know Steve's already told me, but we want the audience to know what it is you do.
Oh God, what do we do?
We've got our fingers in a lot of pies.
Not American
Not
pie.
American pies.
Not American pies.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right,
Well,
go on, you tell them.
congratulations, you're about to be.
I'll just warm up my finger then.
Get ready, ladies.
Yes, honey, I do love a good warm finger.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
We've gone there already.
it's
In 5 minutes?
no one's
Oh,
panicking yet,
no.
though. We're doing well. We're doing well.
We're
Um,
getting there. We're getting there.
Okay, so our lives at the moment are 24/7 paranormal and occult and mystical and all of those
Spiritual.
beautiful good
Bless
things
you.
that most normal people kind of say we don't have time for all of that shit. But that's where we live.
You dropped the bomb.
Sorry, I was allowed to say that.
I don't know.
Okay, I can beep it. I can beep it.
Oh, good.
It's all good.
All right, thank you. So we do ghost tours. We do paranormal investigations for the public. We also have a spiritual community online. We do vodcasts and podcasts. We're doing a little bit of filming at the moment. We are also doing and leading our own businesses. So Anne has Paratech, which is the
Australia's largest online paranormal equipment store with very little equipment in it at the moment due to COVID.
and I also run
Backwards.
Newcastle Ghost Tours, which is my private ghost tour business here.
But together we are.
Yeah, we're frightfully,
Frightfully
good.
good.
Yeah, and I also read tarot. So yeah, that's about
Oh.
Very cool. I love it.
This is amazing. So, okay, you need to tell us just straight up, what's the craziest, like, ghost story you guys have?
And Luke, it'd be ladies, fucker.
it.
Not guys.
Well,
Oh, and I'm
I-
going to beep again.
from the most recent, I was accosted in a toilet at the jail that we work at by a ghost.
Oh, we have to talk about that because I
Speaking
was
of warm fingers.
very much accosted.
You got
Ghost
a
fingers in the
hostage
pie.
in a commode in a jail.
It became a very personal thing, yes. And yeah, it was just one of those things where you go, all right, okay.
So they try to clean out the cobwebs.
I
did they?
might just leave now.
Is there a sign-up sheet for that?
It's not part of the tour, actually. No, that's extra. It costs extra. So we keep on saying to people now, try that toilet.
Particularly the skeptics, we'll send them in there.
Head on into
Yeah,
that
especially
one.
if they look like they're a bit uptight, maybe it'll do a lot for them.
It should
Just
loosen
go and
them
let
up
it
a bit.
all go in
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And mine is at the same jail where I was running the tour that night. Renata was overseas, and I saw someone walking ahead of me in the dark, and I thought, they don't have a torch, that's dangerous. And I just turned around to make sure the tour group was coming in behind me, and when I turned back, that person had gone, and my husband came in from the other end of the jail with his group, and we met in the middle, and there's nowhere that person could have gone. and they were as solid as you and me.
So is this like an active jail or no?
No, it's. I think I know where you're talking about because I think I've done an investigation there with you guys. So it was. We're talking about Maitland Jail.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very. I have had a bit of. So what we did with the ladies one night was an overnight lockdown. So we got there fairly late in the evening, and they gave us a big tour of the jail, and then basically set us loose. I went, just go and discover. So me and my best friend were wandering around that shower toilet block as well, and had some very interesting moments in there too. So
I was gonna say, did you have the American Pie.
no, sadly no. We just heard a lot of noises and like talking and stuff like that when we were very much alone. But yeah, that place is intense, definitely.
Isn't it funny though? Like places that are haunted, like you have so many stories from so many different people. Like, look, I've worked in a place. I know we're not meant to tell our ghost stories right now, which is just known to be haunted. Like, you know, and it was an old convent, and then it would become a boarding school, and then.
Honey, that's not a dead children.
I would love to go in there with an EVP machine.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Everyone has seen something. Skeptics, you know, old, because now it's a nursing home. We've had residents, and they all see it's the same ghost. There's one who's a little boy that will come in, and every person who's seen that little boy has died within the week.
And this is the nuns killed him.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
We're not sure what it is.
See, they know.
Like, because there was one night this lady told us, she's like, look, where are the parents of that child? And we're like, what child? And she's like, he came in here, because she wasn't confused or anything. She was completely fine. She's like, a boy came in here and said that I had to go with him. And she said, no. And then he's like, okay, well then, he's like, well then I'll come with you. And then she was like, well, where are we going? And then he just left. And then she buzzed for us, and she's like, look, where is that little kid's parents? Because he's just walking around here. It was like late at night. And I'm like, there's nobody here. I'm like, there's no one here right now. And she was so dead set. And then after I relayed this to the other nursing staff, they were like, a lot of people have seen that child. And sure enough, that patient was gone within the week.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
creepy.
so-
I need to borrow that little kid. I got some people. I want to send them to their house. I say that with love.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay, so wait. What I really need to know, though, okay, ladies, how did you get involved in doing tours at this jail? Like, how did that come about? That to me is like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing tours here locally in Newcastle for 10 years, and I hadn't had the opportunity to do tours at the jail for quite a long time after I started. It was somewhere where I really wanted to go, because if you asked anyone here, you know, where the ghost tours are, they would immediately say, oh, Maitland Jail, you must be going there, because obviously all the ghosts in the whole region are there. There aren't any anywhere else. And I always had to say, no, I can't get in. It actually took me about 4 years of trying. And asking and begging and sending letters and saying to them, you are missing out on a whole lot of business, because I get calls every week asking if I work at Maitland Jail, until there was a change of management, and the management decided to give us a try. So it wasn't one of those things where you just rolled up to the door and went, okay, I want to do a ghost tour, and they go, oh yeah. It took me about 4 years.
Wow. That's kind of intense to like, but it shows though that if you have that many phone calls coming in, like obviously it's a popular ghost haunt.
It is. Well, people assume that places like that are haunted. They're more interested in the horrible history behind those places. I think sometimes, they love melodrama. They love horror,
violence,
they
and
love
murder,
violence,
and
the horrible stories that are associated.
they don't want to talk to the nice ghosts. They only want the horrible ghosts.
They must be related to our president.
That didn't take long to go there either.
No. I hope he's haunted for the rest of his life.
Oh,
Well, you've
so
seen his face,
Oh.
right? He looks pretty haunted already.
it's true.
Possessed, I think.
Send a little boy to his house.
I feel bad for whatever poltergeist is up his ass.
Mostly people think that some of the most haunted things that you're ever going to encounter are in places like asylums and cemeteries and old hospitals and things like that. But often our greatest stories come from personal stories from people who are living nonchalantly in their homes, aren't expecting anything, and then lo and behold, all hell breaks loose.
Like even last weekend, we were at Lochinvar House and we did our first sleepover there, and we were doing a table tipping session, I think it was, in the lounge area. And the chair that the lady was sitting on all of a sudden slid sideways about, 2 or 3 feet, a metre or so, and scared the bejesus out of her.
I've got to
That's
say,
amazing.
the whole table tipping thing was, I never was really, that into it. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then the ladies came and did a private investigation of one of the places I actually work at. And we were sat in the room, and I have never seen a table. Like, we all had to get up out of chairs to chase this table around the room. It blew my mind a little bit, actually. So it's intense stuff.
We were filming Thursday night at a location with a few people. One of them's a comedian, Isaac Butterfield, who's very big in Australia at the moment. And we were doing some table tipping, and their eyes were getting bigger, and they're going, okay, what if we go down to one hand? So we've gone down to one hand on the table. Then they've gone, all right, what if we go down to one finger? So we've gone down to one finger each on the table, and it's rocking and turning and spinning, and yeah.
Wow, that's
Good
intense.
Do you find you get a lot of response through table tipping?
Yes, it's probably something that when we do on investigations that is guaranteed to get a response to. Absolutely.
And we started a new form of
Oh yes, we did something on the
communication.
weekend, which was just
We
unreal.
were part of the world's largest ghost hunt on Sunday, and unfortunately they couldn't run it the way they normally do, which is streaming live at the same moment in time throughout the world, which lucky for us is 11 o'clock in the morning. And they we did our segment, which we just uploaded, and we had our glass dowsing table, and we were asking messages, and it spells out things. And Renata came up with this brilliant idea to put her tarot cards face down around the outside, just like 6 or 7 of them. And we asked for the people that were watching to call on their loved ones, and we would choose somebody randomly off the live feed. They'd call in their Aunt Betty, and we'd say, okay, so let the glass slide round and round and round.
And Aunt Betty picks the card.
And Aunt Betty picks a card. Well, lo and behold, this glass goes round and round, and it slides up to a card and gently pushes it off. Some were a little bit more strong, but pushes it off like it's a slot machine, like that Zoltar where they spit out the card.
Yeah.
And the readings were spot on.
Oh, it's incredible.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That sounds
We were all in
cool.
tears.
I'm terrified of my dead relatives because they did some crime.
There's some I can leave there.
I'm down for like table tipping, and like we were haunted as a child, like nothing too crazy, but so I totally believe in it. So I'm always a little nervous because after
Yeah, me too.
Well, someone's standing there smoking on your porch right now, so yeah, just turn around and say hello to him.
Well, I don't know him. What's his FICO score?
So,
Oh god.
I think it's important for people to understand the difference between what they see in the movies and TV and what is actual real life paranormal investigation. So we see these shows like, Ghost Adventures and all that kind of stuff, and it's action minute by minute, but you can
Or
explain a little bit
Annabelle,
more.
like
Yeah.
I'm sure,
You
like
can
the
explain
Warrens
a little
were
bit
really
more about what the reality of ghost hunting is for your audience.
This is a huge conversation that a lot of people who are part of those productions are actually having right now. And we see a lot of this talk online at the moment. It's quite a big conversation because the people behind the cameras and the people that are producing these shows are asking more and more of these people. And it's just impossible to do what is being asked when you come to working in the paranormal. You can't just make things happen when you want them to. And it is about upscaling the horror and the terror. And people are saying, we just can't do it. We can't provide this sort of entertainment that you want
to interact on demand. We can only ask and hope that they will. But the reality is that they are there for 2 or 3 days, maybe longer, at a location filming. They've got hours and hours and hours of footage and audio to review. They take the best little snippets of what they can find and piece it together to make a story. And the reality is that people who are experiencing ghost hunts, they might go on a 2 or 3 hour tour and they're expecting to see what happens in the ghost hunting TV shows happen in a ghost tour.
Mm-hmm.
They also get pooey with us when they have 25 people on the tour instead of 3 or 4. But what they're not realizing is that we have to pay to hire the location, which in some cases is
thousands of dollars.
And then they complain that their ticket price is too high. And they're watching the ghost hunting TV shows. They think they can just rock up anywhere, but it's not like that. It's actually expensive. And
though we went on one in Sydney. There was like the cave. There were caves like outside of Sydney, somewhere in New South Wales, and we went there. And it was a late night ghost tour through the old caves. Nothing that it must be, like nothing really huge happened, but it was the most fun. We had a ball. It was just a lot of fun, and hearing the old stories and things like that. Like it was worth every cent. Like we come away from there, we're like, that was a blast.
Yeah. We actually had some interesting experiences at Jenolan Caves using something called a spirit box, and that scans.
God, it sounds like trouble.
It scans through the radio waves, and the spirits are supposed to speak through the white noise or choose words from the radio frequencies to talk to you. So it's meant to be an intelligent conversation, unlike Trump.
No, that's right.
I went there. Anyway, so there was this whistling sound that started coming through on the spirit box, and it was over quite a large bandwidth. So it logically should not be able to happen. And we're saying this whistling, it was like whistle a little tune, happy tune or something like that. And when we spoke to the tour guides, they sort of went white and said, that's one of the reported phenomena here at the caves. We had no radio signal down there. It's right down in the valley. There's virtually nothing. So to have that come through was pretty amazing.
Yeah. But it's also very subtle. So you can have 25 people in a group and only one person may have an experience, or 2 people may have an experience. It's not the whole group in most cases. And you can't please everyone because there is also a huge range of people who have had different levels of experience. So you may have someone who, as Anne said, is a skeptic, another person who has never been on a ghost tour, to people who have been on a number of ghost tours, and you're trying to entertain them all at the one time at all different levels.
And I was going to say, they'd have like preconceptions of what they think should happen.
Absolutely.
And when those expectations aren't met for them, like everyone's expectations are different. I could imagine that would be an issue because they would just carry on and
and they'll
we didn't get what we wanted.
Yeah, we get a bad review saying that we didn't see a ghost. We want our money back.
Oh my God. This is why I hate people. It's why I hate people. growing up, like we had, like, you know what I mean? There was like our little friend Bob or whatever the hell his name was. You know, he was there. So like, I'm just it like blows my mind that people come and think they're gonna see like crazy shit, like, and they don't realize what's on TV is some of it's staged, some of it's not real, and then they're there for days, or you know, like you were saying, taping. Like they're just getting tiny pieces. That's why there's usually more than one like area in a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
Hello, folks.
They also lose the TV shows lose the ability to control their creative content if a network takes hold of the concept of the show. So they will start cutting and editing to suit the narrative that they want rather than what actually happened.
Yeah. That's why, like, I was always a little bit skeptical of, like, do you remember Psychic Detectives, the New Zealand show? And I often felt like how much of this is producer input, is it like, and post-production, where they're changing the narrative, like, you know, to fit the story and things like that, because you just the psychics lose control completely. They're part of the show, and I'm sure most of them, like, if they've been on 3, 4, 5 seasons of it, they know that what they're in for. But what's actually being filmed and what's going to, you know, what's going through the edit are probably two different things in the end.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Destination? Oh, it's an older show now. It was on Sci-Fi here. Destination True. I can't remember the guy's name. He was kind of cute that was on it.
Yep.
That asshole did 4 seasons. He never found nothing.
Yeah. I love the honesty of that. I absolutely love it.
It was the greatest show ever.
It was
Josh, Josh. Honey,
Yeah.
the things I would do to
Josh
that
Gates.
man.
I'll take sloppy seconds.
We can share. We can share. Mama taught me to share. It's fine. We can attack them together.
But that's the truth of it. That is the absolute truth of it. We have been going to Maitland Jail, which is supposed to be, you know, one of the most haunted places in Australia for years now, and you can count on the fingers of one hand the really incredible experiences that you can go, oh my God, wow, that just happened. We have small little experiences along the way that for us are amazing every single time we go there. But because we are so used to being in that field and, you know, having those experiences, they're just like, oh, yeah, okay. So someone just walked past. Okay, that's okay.
It
right.
came 2 flashes and we go, oh, yeah. And everyone else is going, oh my God.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Like growing up, you just kind of got used to having that, right? In your house.
Yeah.
Like, there was this thing that'd be at the end of the hallway, or they'd run down the stairs. You thought somebody was coming to lock you in the basement. And it wasn't. It was just the dude that hung out in the house.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like people would go into my new house and they're like, your house is haunted. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, I had ghosts as a kid. This ain't nothing.
But Jeff, do you remember when we were staying with you and my daughter would go to your back window every night? Every night. And she was only 2 at the time. She's 3 now. And she would be standing at the window crying because I'd wake up and I'd hear my daughter sobbing. I'm like, where is she? Where is she? Because we were in the same room. And I'd come out and find her at this window. I'm like, what's wrong? And she kept saying, there's a little boy. There's a little boy. And she'd be pointing down in the yard. And I'm like, there's nobody there, sweetie. And this went on for like 12 days.
Wow.
And it was crazy. And I was just like, it was starting to scare me in the end. I'm like, Jeffrey, I was like, because I didn't tell him till like a week in, because, like, you know, I thought he's going to think I'm real crazy. Like, my daughter's imagining things. And he's like, well, you know, this was Indian burial grounds. And I'm like, don't tell me this. I've still got 2 more weeks here.
Children must be believed. This is the whole thing about because what we try and also do in all of the things that we do is try and teach as much as we can, or maybe not teach, but also transfer information that might be of assistance and help to others.
I also like to make people aware of their bias and how their bias is influencing their view on life.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, ladies, because, you know, people who hello,
Is that a ghost? behind you. I told you there's a man behind you. See, there you are.
He's out of there.
Oh my God! There we go. We should sell this footage. That's like,
I know.
Absolutely.
We've done it.
I'll cut it together. There's a man behind you.
What?
See?
Why? Like, why did he have clothes on?
What I was going to
Sorry.
say, ladies, before I was going to say, because people go into these experiences too, expecting to see stuff, and because they don't necessarily have that third eye open like you guys do, and they're not seeing it. Do you think that's also like their own bias? What you were saying, Anne, is like what's blocking them off from really having the experience and having the fun there.
Yeah, we find the people who are cynics, there's a lot of people who call themselves skeptics, and they're not, they're cynics. A ghost could walk up to them and tap them on the forehead, and they still wouldn't believe it was a ghost. They lock themselves down to not seeing anything, and it's almost like a bubble of fear, and they can push that out around them so that nothing happens to them, because that's what they've asked for. And we find the spirit world also will work at the level that people can cope with. Maybe not so much of a jail, but they will they'll try to push your boundaries a bit, but to me it's all to do with permission. What permission do you give?
But people are also so closed down, even in the normal world, they're so closed down, they're so fixated on whatever is coming up on their mobile phone that they have no ability to use their own mind to make decisions anymore, because they have to ask the mobile phone. They have to ask, what's the weather like today? What should I wear? Am I happy? Am I like, as a tarot card reader, I get questions all the time about, should I leave this man? And you go, what the fuck are you asking me for? I'm not living with him. If you're thinking like that, you obviously have issues.
Well, they want to leave. They just want someone to reassure them it's okay to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This stupid son of a bitch, leave!
Absolutely.
You're asking, clearly you already know.
Yes, and this is what she does. She goes, if you need to ask that question, obviously there is some issues going on. And you shouldn't be asking on Facebook.
That's right.
Yes,
Hey, Renata, was I right to leave my ex-partner? I'm kidding. You don't have to justify. I knew I was.
Girl, am I going to win the lottery?
Oh, God.
Fuck no. Work hard.
Buy a fucking ticket. Help yourself.
You got to play to win, girls. You got to.
That's right.
Absolutely.
As you can see, the ladies pull no punches, which is part of the reason why that I was like, they're going to be perfect for the show. But some of the best stuff that happens on ghost hunts is when those skeptics get a bit of a shock. And I know I've seen it for myself. I did an investigation at Manly Quarantine Station, where you guys have been frequently. In the good old Gravediggers Cottage, we were just all popping in, and the last lady was a complete skeptic. She's like, rah, rah, rah. And she got full force pushed in through the threshold and left the tour straight away in tears, sobbing, like, it was enough. It was enough. And like, well, you've had your experiences at Manly, so sometimes they can be a little bit full on too.
Yes.
But those moments are gold. Have you had any of those that you like keep in your little pocket to make you happy?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah, there's one man that I do remember who was desperate to have an experience, and this was at Maitland Jail. And somebody went, I think someone's just touched me. And he went, touch me! Touch me! and then
Touch
like,
me.
all through the night, he's going, touch me! Touch me! Pissing ourselves laughing.
That's a golden moment.
It was, so it's going to become our cry, touch me! Touch me!
See,
Send him to the toilet block.
I'm just hearing Samantha Fox now that Jeff did that.
I want to feel your body.
dear.
Look, I have to tell you, we had 1 year we had a back-to-back tour. We had a normal tour, and then we had a sleepover straight afterwards. And we are in the last 20 minutes or so of this particular tour, and people are already gathering at the gates for the sleepover. So they're there with their blankets and their pillows and all of it, and they're all at the gates and everything. We can't see that because we're back at the tour and we're in this one spot. We had a lovely lady and gentleman who had been travelling down the east coast of Australia, and they decided that they were going to stop and do this tour. So they were on the tour with us.
She was right into ghosts.
And she was right
Husband
into
not so
ghosts.
much.
He wasn't so much. And they were probably in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah, I think late
In their
60s, maybe
50s
even
and
70s.
And we were doing the Estes experiment with people on headphones.
So this is the spirit box.
And the spirit box and everything. They were standing to the side, and we were watching, and all of a sudden
We heard the noise.
we hear this noise, and she's going, and she's
Oh
sliding
gosh, was it
down.
Meg Ryan?
She's
Face
sliding down.
first going down into the husband's crotch, and we're going,
Is this a possession or
Excuse me?
what the hell's going on? And
Wrong tour,
stand
kids.
on the floor with the face of the husband's crotch. Yep.
she's down on the
Oh my
floor.
gosh, that was like Ghost.
And we turn around. He's just gone, what the hell? And of course, our first aid kicks in, and we go, okay, let's not pretend
She's
that
like,
this is.
the ghosts have got me.
Yeah,
They're
so-
trying to get inside me. The ghosts, and like everyone on the tour is freaking out.
Oh,
Yeah.
how funny.
Call the ambulance, and our
I said,
team.
no, I don't need the ambulance. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. So we've cleared all the tour out to go into another area to do the last 20 minutes. I'm staying with the woman.
Yeah, we've got a chair for her. We've put her up on the chair. The ambulance has
God.
arrived, right? So picture this. We're at Maitland Jail. It's 11 o'clock at night. The ambulance, with the lights. And we've got a full crowd of people standing at the gates with their pillows going, holy shit. And one of our team walks out and goes, it's okay, people. It's a possession. We have it all under control.
Yes, you're getting your money's worth tonight, folks. It's gonna be an extra cover
It
charge.
was amazing. It was amazing. And then the poor ambulance guys come in, and of course we still run with the story. And we go, we've got a lady in there. She's been possessed. Can you please come in and assist? And they've just gone, what the hell? We don't have equipment for that. It was joyous. In the end, she was fine. She was
Yeah,
fine.
it turned out she'd actually had some sort of heart issue the year before, and so we were right to call the ambulance.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people assume it's paranormal, but never assume it's paranormal.
She had like
always.
a TIA or something, like a
It was something. So
the ghost has
oh,
got
wow.
me.
Yeah.
She kept with that story, just to also let you know.
That's her bias.
She
She believes it.
believed that something did happen for her, and maybe it was a combination of both.
Good bitch, your heart gave out.
If the body is under that much stress. But just there are points in that story where you think about it and you go, that's really hilarious, but it's so wrong to laugh.
No, it's
But how
so
should
right.
her husband feel that, like, on her possible deathbed, she was ready to go down one more time?
I'm sure he had no complaints whatsoever.
And we'll just say that was not ectoplasm.
No.
Oh, God.
Look I'm sitting here like, okay, you get a ghost hunt and a pornographic show. I mean,
It's
a
completely
win-win.
our show.
Pretty much.
They got their
Listen.
money's worth.
I would love it. I would love that.
Yeah. And see, we actually think those things are so much better than made up stuff.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're the reality of all the stuff that we do. And sometimes what happens is crazy and it's funny, but it's real. Expecting for a ghost to turn up as a full body apparition every time you go out is just
With 25 people in the room.
it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, and how many of those 25 people have bad juju energy that, like, nobody... Look, people don't want to fuck with you. What makes you think a ghost is?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They have the special syndrome. I'm special. So therefore, a ghost is only going to come up to me. Oh, and I see ghosts everywhere. So we have
Oh, we did have that woman. Remember that
we have
woman who came in and she'd walk in the building and go, "There's no ghost here. This is a rip-off."
I'm
And
going.
she'd go and sit outside.
Oh my
She'd have
goodness.
declared. And we'd have gear going off left, right, and centre. No, there's no ghosts.
No, I'm saying there's no ghosts here.
And in the end, she'd have Curly and put a complaint in that I went into every building and I'm as sensitive and there were no ghosts.
Just freaking sensitive, all right.
Yeah, keep it away from her.
Oh God, ego. Her ego stepped into the room before she did.
Oh, my ladies, like, so do you both read for people, or is it just Renata that does?
I do, but Anne does naughty cards.
Anne does naughty. Oh
I don't
gosh.
know what my
Time-
naughty cards
time out.
are. Can you see them?
Time out. Do we have not? What are naughty cards? This sounds
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm ready for the naughty cards. Let's hear
Oh,
about this.
All right.
I'm so excited.
There is an oracle card that is, instead of sort of love and light, it's blunt. It's to the point. It says, "This is your fucking sign. Wake up to yourself." So it's that sort of card. Have you found? Oh, that's a new one. That's
Oh,
one
see,
last-
so
that's a
I would
new
end
one.
up getting that card.
Jeff's having some paranormal experiences. Look at him. He's taken the earphone out. Look at him. Are you right, Jeff?
No, I'm not. There's like crazy noises I've never heard going.
Told you there's a man there
Like,
smoking
what
a cigarette.
the fuck is going on right
Jesus Christ, believe me.
I
He's laughing his
did.
head off now. He's laughing his head off.
now? There's like, but there's noises all like around me that I've never. It sounds like I don't even fucking know.
He said to me, look for the bones.
Look for the bones.
Don't you dare look in your crotch.
Look.
You made me look at it then. Look for the bones.
Look for the bones. Not
So you're getting the full Renata
Do it in
experience now.
daylight, not at nighttime, Jeff. Not at nighttime.
I'm losing my shit because okay, I'm not from here. I'm in Missouri on like extended holiday. I live in New York. So ladies, if you ever want to come to New York, I have a very large house and you're welcome to it.
Where
And,
Come on,
and
over
my
there.
daughter has already seen paranormal activity in his backyard. So
Oh,
All right, so
Alright.
naughty cards.
he's
naughty
actually,
cards.
Jeff's actually a bit scared. What's going on? Like,
I'm not. Yeah, I am a little freaked out right now.
Let's draw a card for Jeffrey.
Oh,
I
Let's draw a
think-
card for him. A little
Oh,
bit of
shit.
inspiration from the spirit world. Okay, here we come. Darling, be a badass. Go out into the world and take them on and tell them all to fuck off because you have the power within you to rule the world.
That
That's
is
a
so
Jeffrey
true.
card.
It
That's a
really
Jeffrey
is.
card for sure.
That's Jeff.
Absolutely.
Angel, would you
Oh.
like a card?
I would.
Absolutely. Why not? And
Oh,
actually, I
okay.
should do this.
You realise I make this shit up, don't you?
Make it
She's
good.
the talent.
Make it good.
Oh, that one's not meant to be read. It just fell out. All right,
Spirits
for
have just knocked that
Angel,
one
for Angel. Oh, woman, will you get out of your own fucking way? Your own biggest enemy. You doubt yourself, and then you stop yourself from reaching further and excelling because you're in your own fucking way.
Oh my
Lord,
God.
spirit.
Oh, so true. That's absolutely so
Move
true.
over, Renata.
Sorry.
Yep, definitely true. I'm usually my own biggest obstacle
Mhm.
for things. Like if I put my mind, I say, okay, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to like grow my business or I want to do this or that. I usually end up stopping myself. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's the fear of, you know,
Fear of failure.
I think that's it too. And I
Yeah.
get a little, my mind gets boggled and I get a little flustered, you know? So
Yeah.
I
Read,
definitely
we're listening to the audio book called The Big Leap.
the big
So
leap.
listen to that and it will get rid of some of the blocks in your head, or read the book. And it's really good. We keep listening to a little bit and then going, oh my God. And let me tell you, it's working because we've just taken a big leap ourselves.
Awesome. I'm on that tonight.
Excellent.
For sure. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Sometimes it's just about losing friendships as well and moving out of your comfort zone and going, oh my gosh, if I am going to be really good at what I do, I have to really scale things up and change things, and I'm not ready for all of that work. So the
Right.
mindset about changing and going, yes, I am ready to do all of that work, and I am ready to change the people that might be around me because they don't suit me anymore, or whatever it might be.
Oh my
But
goodness.
you've got to step into that
Yeah.
zone.
That's
I
exactly
had to
what
do
I've
that.
been going through for the
Yeah.
past 3 months. I've changed a lot of people in my friend circle.
Yeah.
I think
I just
yeah.
had to get rid of tons of people who were just very negative, and they were
toxic.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
very toxic for me. Like those type of friends are there for them, but they're not really there for
Yeah.
you type of people. So
Yeah.
yes, I've done that a lot in the
Unfollow
past 3
them.
months.
You don't like, even if you don't feel confident to unfriend them, unfollow them. So at least that toxicity isn't popping up in your news feed everywhere.
Oh my goodness, that's perfect advice. Absolutely.
Oh, God,
I love you guys. I want to talk to you every day. I'm gonna call you guys every day. You're gonna get like 10 emails a minute.
Okay, Luke. All right. Have you got a question, Luke?
Oh my goodness, this is so much
Well,
fun.
not really. I've sort of come to this point in my life where, like, because I was always such a codependent young person, like in my 20s and early 30s, that I've sort of come to this point now where I'm quite happy single, and I've got a 3-year-old daughter. You know, her and I are best friends. You know, I've got good support from my family. Like, I hate my house. Like, but you know, that's all I've got. That's really wrong with my life. And I think, well, you know what? I'm actually really lucky because I own a house. So I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, I'm obviously I've got unhappiness there in other aspects, but like I'm sort of coming to a point where I'm starting to like. All right.
What did you get?
Yes, you're a bit of a half cup half empty person rather than a cup half full person at the moment, and that's what this card is all about. It's a 5 of cups, and so sometimes you actually look in the wrong direction for your information about life. So you need to literally turn around and change the way you think and see things sometimes. And people tend to stick things in your face when you least need them to. It's like that twinge of a reminder of how things were.
Oh, a trigger.
Yeah, real triggers. And so the more you learn what your triggers are, the more likely you are to bypass them when you're going into the future and making the decisions that you need to make at this point in time. November the 13th, is that a special day for you?
No.
Is there
No.
okay, mark down November the 13th.
It's not an in particular special date for me that I.
It's
that I
okay.
can
Mark
recall.
down November the 13th and see what happens on that particular day, because it's sort of just really jumped out at me to say to you. And we all miss traveling at the moment, and you may have had some really important trips lined up to help and assist you move forward over the next 12 months. What?
Now you.
No,
now
I
you
was meant to go over to New York. So yeah, that is true. That's very.
in November.
You are going to
November.
Yeah, ain't
It's
happening.
supposed to come in November.
Yeah. You may have to wait a little bit longer for that to happen.
Won't we all?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of disappointment there. But keep that as part of the work that you will need to do in the future. Don't just let it go.
And I've got another thing that I've been told is that don't use the I'm happy as I am and happy where I am at the moment as an excuse not to form relationships and bonds with people because you're scared of being hurt again.
Snap!
Ooh.
Oh shit!
You got red to filth, girl.
I was gonna say she just
Told
got
you
that
about
nail and went
yourself.
boom.
Did I find a trigger?
They just shredded you on the record video.
And I also
got-
want to say to you that there is a female around you, and the thing that she leads me to continuously, and I've been listening to this loop as I've been talking to you, and I was trying to work out what it was, because she was first pointing me to roses, but it's actually The Rose, the movie The Rose.
Some say
Mhm.
love.
So
I know. Yeah.
do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's my.
Oh,
That's my grandmother.
KPI.
Yes. So she's there with you, Luke, at the moment.
How cool.
I
is
don't
this?
doubt it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
See, this is
I'm
what I'm
removing-
talking about.
Cheers, KPI.
That is awesome.
People go into ghost hunting and all this kind of stuff thinking that they're going to see like The Conjuring, full body possession, flying up the walls.
Yep.
How often do you get these emotional moments?
All the
Like-
time. That's what we're trying to do,
Yeah.
because that's what the spirit world is all about. Actually, it's connecting the energies that are the closest to us, the most important to us, and letting them know, letting the live people know that those energies are still there and that they're still meaningful and that they still have messages for us.
And we were finding also that we were doing like this table tipping, glass dowsing, seance stuff as part of the ghost hunt. And the messages that were coming through were so personal and so raw that we had to take it out of the ghost hunting and set up a private thing, which we call the seance parlor, where we would allow people to come and sit. We'd only have 4 or 5 people that would sit with us at the table, and they'd all receive messages from loved ones. And the amount of healing that went on, that we were privileged to witness, and complete breakdowns of people, and then they were starting to rebuild their life, and they'd say to us, thank you so much,
That's
getting these
amazing.
messages.
Yeah.
There was one particular lady that touched my heart. She came with her sister. She didn't look well.
Oh.
She really didn't look well. And their loved ones came through, and Renata's saying, they're with you. Your family's really close around you at the moment. And they're going, yeah, we understand. And they were asking about the afterlife. We got a message from them about 6 months later saying, thank you so much for that session. You gave my sister so much peace of mind. She had cancer and she passed a week after that seance.
Wow.
Oh my god! You guys are like heroes.
We
You
feel like
really
we are
are.
in service of spirit and humanity. It's not just about entertainment.
Yeah.
We are trying to provide healing to those on the other side. Both sides, actually, for the ones who have gone and the ones who are still here, because the ones on the other side are still hurting sometimes with decisions they made while they were living.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have many different layers of this whole process, and it has taken years and years and years and years to get to this point. So it's not like we've appeared 12 months down the track and gone, oh, we do all of this stuff. We've both been looking through this mirror for 30 years, 30, 40 years to get to this point. So.
And we have now been scientifically tested.
Yeah, you were doing that a couple of
Really?
weeks ago. You were doing that a couple of weeks ago, right?
No.
Turns out that
This beach here is better than I am.
apparently, I was the one that always used to go, I'm a psychic brick, I've got nothing. So now that all these patterns have come out and the brain waves and the shit, and I've gone, oh, fuck, okay. So I've now accepted it, and now I'm starting to tell people what I'm being told, and everyone's going, oh my God, you're so spot on. I'm going, oh, fuck. I don't know if I want this.
Who was that guy? Do you girls remember that guy that was like, he was putting all these psychics to the test and offering them the $1 million prize? What was his name? And he was like challenging
Randy?
like Sylvia Knight. Yes, Randy. What's
his name? Randy something.
But he would
Was
make
that
the
in
test
Australia?
conditions just so ridiculous. No, it was America.
Yeah.
Because Sylvia Knight was an American psychic.
Sylvie.
Yeah, and like, was it? What was her name? Sylvia
Brown.
James.
Sylvia
Randy.
Brown.
James Randy.
Yeah,
Sylvia
James
Brown.
Randy. That was
There
it.
you go.
And- But the test conditions would be just so ridiculously stringent. Like, it was set up to fail every time.
And we don't know how the spirit world works. In all honesty, we have no idea until we cross to the other side and die. We don't know. So everything that we're working with at the moment is experimental, and we just do the best we can. And we keep experimenting. We keep trying. And getting that validating information is fantastic. But if spirit doesn't want to work with you at that particular time, you're going to get nothing. Or worse still, you start to make it up and pretend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real concerned because I'm supposed to go look for bones. And if you think tomorrow that there won't be pictures on the page of me digging holes.
Some get a big shovel
Gonna
and
have
start
holes all
digging
over
up that
his aunt's
backyard.
property.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have to call my aunt after we get off the air.
Do you still have the lycra? Remember when we went jogging in the lycra through that really dangerous neighborhood?
No.
I was going to say, it could have
Do you see the
perfect
size
time
of
to
me?
utilize it.
It's gone. Gone.
It's going to be a very busy day tomorrow. Jeff's going to be digging holes. Luke's probably still going to be like sobbing.
Jeff is going to buy a backhoe.
Angel's going to be like
There's one
moving
next
her life
door.
along. You guys are going to stay busy.
Oh, we're all about changing lives, guys. We're all about
Love it.
So I want to know. Oh, sorry, go Jeff.
I'm just curious to who this asshole is behind me. That's all. He gave a name, like, is he from Missouri? Like, I don't want to dig holes in Missouri if the bitch followed me from New York. You know what I mean?
He's on vacation too.
We got a lot of fucked up shit in my family. I don't know what about this thing where. Okay, my aunt, like everybody, we're all like, listen.
Well, maybe it's skeletons in the cupboard that you're talking about.
Well, actually,
Right.
It might be those bones.
Jeff's spoken so many times about, because this is something quite. I think you should tell it, Jeff, because you've
What?
told it on the show a few times. With what happened with your grandparents, I think that's pretty.
Well, which ones? It happened to both of them.
Here you go, ladies. Strap in.
Am I ready? Okay, so my father's side, which I'm down here at my aunt's house. It would be her father. She's my father's sister. Her dad killed himself, thinking that he had killed his wife, and he didn't. She lived. So that was on my father's side. On my mother's side, like 3 years ago, my grandfather shot my grandmother while she was sleeping and then killed himself, which was real convenient because it was a 2-for-1. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have to, you just get it all done at once, no
Right.
2 trips.
Oh, Jeffrey, come on. I can't joke about that shit.
Oh my goodness.
I really kind of, no, it's okay. So there's a lot of, but the thing is, the guy I was married to, his grandfather shot his wife in front of his children and then shot himself. So we had a rule that we couldn't have guns because we like to drink.
Wow.
That's a good rule.
I'm
I
saying,
think it's a good rule too.
That's a very good rule.
like, I don't know that we have it in us, but I'm just saying it's in the bloodline, right? So we gotta be careful.
I
Don't
can
take
only
any
imagine
chances.
with the road rage and stuff, especially just that I see on the roads here in Australia, if everyone was armed, holy heck. It would be Grand Theft Auto just
Oh.
everywhere, just shootouts
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Could you imagine the toilet paper brawls with loaded guns? Like,
What
We
they
wouldn't have
need in
survived
their
COVID.
life is a little relax.
That's
I've
a good
switched
line. I like
bottles.
that.
Still
I like
Is
that
Relax Riesling a sponsor?
They will be after
They
this.
should be now. I my case tomorrow.
Wait, let me show that first bottle again, ladies. You get 50% too. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking for
I
sponsors.
think he means 50% of a bottle.
Bail it over.
You'll need it after this
Are
show,
you
girls.
high? I'm not sharing the wine. I'll share
Oh,
the
no.
Just
Go
kidding,
buy
I'm
your
just
own.
No, I'm just kidding.
With everything you guys have done, I know that there's still locations that you want to investigate. I think one of my favorite videos you guys did last year, I think it was last year, who knows, was your trip to Loftus Hall that didn't happen. Watching that was
I'm
quite
sorry.
interesting.
What's it called? Lost its hole?
Loftus Hall.
Loftus Hole.
Loftus. Loftus.
I like it.
Yeah. Do you have? All right. What's the dream location to investigate?
We want to travel the world. We want to go to the most haunted locations in the world, the most haunted hotels. We want to have an experience. We
Yeah.
touch me.
I want to feel your body. Okay, so ladies, here's the deal. I say, as soon as this shit's over, you need to come to America. You can stay with me. We'll get Luke over here and we'll film some shows. Like, I got all the camera equipment. We'll film shit.
Wow.
We'll just
I'm
go.
coming.
That's an offer.
I'll make the drive.
I'm gonna come too. I don't
Look,
care.
all
I don't
I
care if I'm
see-
invited. I'm coming.
We
Yeah.
don't need. Of course, you can come. We don't need no network. We got our own equipment and we can edit shit ourselves. We got this.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
But we were actually meant to come to America twice this year. That was
Yeah.
going to be her first time. We were speaking at a
no.
women's conference in West Virginia.
Moundsville.
We're going to the
That's
Western
why.
State Penitentiary. We were going to Salem.
The Conjuring
Oh.
House.
look,
We were
we
supposed to
were-
go to the Conjuring House.
We were going to have a
Ooh.
private night by ourselves, and my friend Bill Chappell was going to come and join us. If you know Bill from Ghost Adventures, he
Yeah.
invented the obelisk. A shout out to Bill. He's not well at the moment, but he's on the mend. And
Step in love.
also, yeah, we were meant to go to New Orleans. We were meant to be there right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
true. You were.
And we were
Oh.
speaking at a conference there as well, Haunted Bourbon. But yeah,
No,
Yeah,
I
next
did a
year,
ghost
girl.
tour in New
Next
Orleans,
year,
and it was
fingers
pretty
crossed.
awesome.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
awesome.
We were going to go to a séance with Bloody Mary from New Orleans.
we were going to be
Oh,
in
well,
Ohio.
Yeah, and we
Very
were supposed
cool.
to go also
Wow.
and do a vampire walk or something. Meet the
Yeah, we had
vampires.
all, and we had
Oh,
the witches, and we
yeah.
had everything
Wow.
happening. And we want to go back to Ireland because Ireland is my most favourite place on this earth. And investigate some more locations there, and England. We've done Romania. We've followed Count Dracula's trail through Transylvania,
Oh.
and that was a bit of fun.
yeah, we did. Yeah, anywhere that was flat, we went. We're going to go up the hill. There was Dracula's castle all the way up the hill.
Like his actual
Too many
Vlad the
steps.
Impaler.
Yeah,
Ladies, I'll bring a
we-
golf cart. We're good.
Oh, you couldn't. This one you couldn't. They'd
Chopper.
warned us. They'd warned us 6 months ago, and we went into training.
Wow.
We started doing gym
It
classes.
was like 1,600 steps
Yep.
to the top, and I
Oh
don't
my
do
goodness.
stairs at any time. I hate stairs with a passion.
So we went
1,000.
into training, and we were standing in line on this particular. We thought, oh shit, we've done all this
We've got to
training.
do it.
We've got to
We
do it.
didn't fucking train.
Oh Jesus
We were
Christ.
given talk.
And all of a sudden, the announcer comes up and says, I'm sorry, we cannot do today, please, because I'm sounding like an Indian. We can't do today because the bears are out.
You cannot do today because the bears
The bears are out, and yeah, there could be some things.
The
and Anne and I
bears?
just look,
The bears, yes.
the brown bears.
What the
And-
fuck?
Not the
And
bears
Anne and
you're
I have
used to,
just-
Jeff.
Anne and I have looked at each other and just gone, kill!
The spirits are
Going
looking
back to the
after you that
hotel.
day.
We apparate on the balcony with cups of coffee and biscuits, and then apparently they rearranged it for the next day. But unfortunately, we both had a bit of a bad tummy the next day,
Just
so
awful, yeah.
we,
Went fairly
we went
well.
up to it.
Well, I'm sure the food was a little rough. They're used to blood. Okay, so have you had like a horrible experience where like maybe a spirit came through and it was just like, oh no, I'm not going to repeat that. I'm not going to do this. Like, no.
We've had horrible experiences in hotels, not with the ghosts. No, we've had some awful hotels. We've gone, holy shit!
Even the dead won't live here.
There won't be any ghosts here. It's just no, it's wrong.
Oh my god!
Look, since I've been a paranormal investigator, no, I really haven't had any bad experiences. I've witnessed other people who have been hysterical over the experiences they've had and assumed it was demonic or, they just jumped to the worst because of how they've been brought up watching TV. I had a funny one where I was at a cemetery. There was a car park there, and I had to climb into the car to get something. And I thought the car park was more haunted than the cemetery. This is West Wall's End.
Yeah.
And
Word, yes.
as I'm bending in to get something out of the car, my ass is hanging out. I'm thinking, please don't scratch my ass. Please don't. Anyway, when I got home, I had a scratch that was that long across my ass cheek. Now, I had jeans on, I had a belt on. There is no way I could have got that. It was like a slice into the skin. And I thought it was hilarious because obviously I'm going, don't touch my butt. And they've gone, ha.
Guess what, lady? Right to the cheek.
So I wasn't threatened by that. I thought it was a sense of humour because it wasn't painful.
Right.
I have to say one of the most terrifying experiences that I have had was in England. No, in Scotland when we went to Edinburgh and we went to the Edinburgh Vaults.
It's on my bucket list.
And they take you down into some of the darkened vaults where people used to live many, many years ago, the poor people, and they literally lock the door behind you and it is pitch black. And as a child, I was terrified of the dark because that's where I would see things. And so I slept as a child with the hall light on. I couldn't have darkness. And so pitch dark still makes me feel very insecure.
Oh, I understand.
And being in that vault in there, I had to sort of just really center myself because there would have been people in there that were poking each other and sort of making fun and trying to scare each other. And one lady actually just went off her nut. She started screaming and it was her partner who was, pinching her. And she goes, someone's touching me, oh my God, and going off. And of course, that just heightens the fear factor of the whole group. And
they have to be careful, and the tour guides have to be careful at that stage because you can set off a panic stampede of the whole group.
Yeah, and there's nowhere to go. It's all enclosed. Yeah.
And normally what happens in ghost tours is people hurt themselves because they freak themselves out.
Yeah.
It's not the ghost.
I've got to say, for that darkened room thing, I got locked in with me and a friend from school. I don't know that we were supposed to actually have done it, but one of the tour guides at Q Station took all the lamps and everything up to the top building and left us locked in the shower block with no light.
Yeah.
So
you only do that with permission. You should never do that to anyone without permission.
No, we asked for it.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
we definitely asked for it, but I was just like, this is the worst place because if you guys want to do a little bit of research about the shower block at Manly Quarantine Station, I'm like, this is not where I want to be locked in. And we were there for a good 15 minutes, but we did ask for it. So
yeah. As part of our tour, when we were running Paranormal Investigator there, we would challenge them to go in pairs, and if they really wanted to, go by themselves with only a night vision camera and an EMF meter, and they had to walk the shower blocks on their own. And just so a little bit of background, it was where people came off the ship and were put into the showers and washed with a mixture of carbolic acid and water and carbolic acid soap. So that the idea was to strip off a couple of layers of your skin to remove the bugs. In actual fact, what they did is they exposed the fresh, clean, beautiful skin to the virus.
To the bugs,
yeah.
That sounds like a living nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's still something creeping around those showers, like not in a good way.
No,
not in a good way. There's definitely something in that shower block because when you see it with your own two eyes, you're just like, wow, okay, that's real.
And there is an intelligent entity in there. And I remember one of the EVPs, the electronic voice phenomena we got. There was people were asking questions, and there is this male voice, and there was no male in that group going, "Good question."
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, ladies, I wanted to finish with what has been, I guess, the most ridiculous thing you guys have had happen? Like just something just so stupid, even if it wasn't so much paranormal, like even like a crazy client or anything like that. Like what was something really just over the top?
Did you miss the story about the lady giving her man head in the tour?
She was amazing, but look, I work as a nurse. I see that kind of crazy all the time.
I used to work in aged care in music therapy as well, humor and music therapy, so I know where you're coming from. I love dementia patients. They're my favourite people.
Oh,
anyway,
me too.
Have you got any?
I can't think. I see crazy clients all the time, and it's.
Oh, I remember one, the haunted printer.
Oh, yes. The haunted printer. We got called over to a place.
We handle private cases too.
in the suburb, and this lady was saying to me that she had a haunted printer that would come up with a word, and it would print it on a piece of paper. That the printer would slide out the paper with this particular word on it, whatever it was. It was always something, terribly horrible, like demon or, kill or something or other. And yes, this printer was haunted. And it was sitting on another printer, which was sitting on another printer. And my response to that is, why don't you just get rid of it? But obviously not.
Let's face it, with Wi-Fi, people can fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
It's
do
probably
do
like
a
her
lot with
neighbor
mental
who
health.
hates her is like watching her through the
The
I'm
wireless
gonna just get
printer.
you die, bitch, right now.
Yeah.
Wireless printer, like
Yeah,
on an unsecure
yeah.
network, and they're like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Look for the bones. Look for the bones. But no, it's too soon. We're not joking about that.
Sorry, Jeffrey.
Who's looking around?
Listen, because you don't understand. Never when we're doing a show and I'm sitting out here, do I hear shit? Nothing goes on. At night, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, wait for those lights to start flickering. Then you'll just get really,
And we'd just
I'll
like
be-
to say thank you to the ghost for interacting with him as we called you in this evening.
Why you gotta? I'm here for my kids alone. I don't even have a gun.
He's going full like white girl Sally.
I'm like in the boonies, in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, okay, if the car don't start, the golf cart better. That's all
Haven't
I
you
gotta
seen the movies, Jeffrey? For goodness sake, get yourself out of there.
Yeah, no,
I know.
I'm not like a white girl in the movie. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to find out what the noise is. I'm
But
staying
you put yourself there. You did.
put. Yes, because it's still warm here, unlike New York. The kids were just swimming in the lake. Yeah, nobody's in a hurrah in Missouri.
So to wrap things up, ladies, what is the future for Frightfully Good? What's I know that you've got your travel plans, but I know that you, as you said, you got your fingers in a lot of pies. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can share with us? And
No.
give us a little.
we're this close to sharing,
Ooh.
but yeah, there are things moving around us at the moment, and I don't know what I can say at this stage.
Nothing.
We've got a meeting at 11:30 with some people that we've done some work for who want to talk to us about a few things. So stay tuned and follow us on Anne and Renata because that's where the action will be taking place.
Where's that at, ladies? On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook?
Yes.
One of those.
Not Twitter, but we are on TikTok, which I hate.
Oh.
I can't work any of them.
Oh, don't worry, Trump hates it too. Trump hates it. Okay, well, I can tell you have things moving because I want to figure out how we get you here and we film some shows.
I'd be so ecstatic. What my big dream is that we will find someone who will pay us to travel the world, to stay at haunted locations, and to have a laugh. That is my goal in life.
I
Keep
really
talking,
think.
keep talking shit.
No, I believe you know what? I really believe for you two it can happen because you're fun, you have great energy,
Yeah.
and you're real. And I think that's a rarity. People are either way too serious, they can't laugh at themselves, and you two have such an amazing
Right sign,
spirit.
girl.
And you guys are so down to earth and relatable.
Sorry, Jeffrey's
so.
praising us, so
Yeah,
thank
it's
you,
gonna
Jeffrey's
work.
praising Angel. Thank you.
Well, we better let them go because they have secret projects that they can't tell us
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
That they have to have
Yes,
meetings.
and in
Thank
like
you
20
so much
minutes.
for your time today, ladies. It's been
Thank you,
amazing.
Steve.
Thank you for having
As
us.
I
Thank
thought it
you.
would
Thank
be.
you. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you
So,
guys so much.
Yeah, please follow them on all their social media. They are a hoot and a half, and they're
Please come back as much as you want.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
We'd love
And
to.
We'd love to.
Honestly, I'm dead serious. If you want to come to New York, you can stay at my house. Like we'll hook it up, and I
You're
would
in.
really
Dead serious,
love.
we'll
It's
come.
haunted.
Give
Son
us
of a
an
bitch.
I'll bring my
invitation.
daughter Buffy. She's like your little built-in K2 meter. She'll be like, it's over here.
We'll
All
bring
right,
But yeah,
you.
no,
think-
ladies,
oh.
it's been so much fun. Thank you so much. You know,
Thanks for having us.
it's been great just to laugh with you girls and just, you know, and I just think it's amazing what you do. And you know, you're just bringing a lot of joy to the world and just a lot of I guess reassurance and reconciliation for some people as well. So thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. We try.
Yeah.